Ever seen a celebrity walk out of an interview? It's not just surprising, it's unforgettable. From Kanye West to Robert Downey Jr., we're talking about the most awkward moments where celebrities didn't hold back. These interviews went from cool to intense in seconds. Take Robert Downey Jr. During an interview on Channel 4 News while promoting Avengers: Age of Ultron, Downey found himself in a difficult situation when journalist Krishnan Gurumurthy veered off topic. The interviewer began pressing Downey on his past political beliefs, specifically his time in prison. Downey, growing visibly uncomfortable, attempted to redirect the conversation back to the film. However, when Gurumurthy persisted, Downey calmly took off his mic, stood up, and said, "Bye," walking out of the interview. Later, Downey called the interviewer a bottom feeder, making it clear he wasn't about to let the conversation continue in that direction.
You know, the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you know, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
I mean,
Okay, that's okay.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
are you, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, in 2014, Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, had his own moment on 60 Minutes Australia. During his interview with Liz Hayes, the journalist started questioning the legitimacy of his current business dealings. As Hayes continued to challenge him, Belfort's patience ran thin. He eventually tore off his microphone and walked off the set, calling the interview a hatchet job.
I've said enough about this. Let's move on.
Let me ask you this one
Let's
thing.
move on, okay? Very nice woman, but you're starting to get to the point. It's obviously just a hatchet job here. So I'm kind of pretty much.
Really quickly. We've been audited.
I think
It was a clear indication that Belfort was done with the line of questioning. Moving on, Kanye West had his own explosive moment during a 2022 interview with Piers Morgan. In this case, Morgan pressed West about his controversial remarks and demanded an apology. Initially, West offered a brief, qualified apology, but as Morgan pressed further, West grew increasingly agitated. Finally, he declared, "I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I fought for my people," before standing up and storming out.
I think you should say to the Jewish people, I'm sorry for the offensive language I used in that tweet. I wouldn't do that again.
After that moment happens, then I will say, I'm sorry. Interview adjourned. Love you.
Donald Trump also had his fair share of tough interviews. During a 2022 Nepalese rupee interview, Steve Inskeep calmly challenged Trump's claims about a stolen election. As Inskeep provided factual counterpoints, Trump's frustration became obvious. In the end, Trump abruptly hung up the phone, ending the interview without further explanation.
Rigged election of 2020.
Mr. President, if I'm one more question. I want to ask about a court hearing yesterday on January 6th. Judge Amit Mehta, he's gone. Okay.
This marked yet another moment where Trump decided to end the conversation on his own terms. Speaking of awkward moments, Selena Gomez experienced one in 2013 during a satellite interview with reporter Dean Richards. Richards unexpectedly asked her what her ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber had taught her. Taken completely by surprise, Gomez awkwardly smiled, and then, just as quickly, the satellite feed cut out, ending the interview.
About what don't we get about him, or what is it that he's not getting out there?
Whether it was a technical issue or a result of the uncomfortable question, it left viewers wondering what happened behind the scenes. Mike Tyson was doing interviews in 2014 when a reporter brought up his past legal troubles and called him a convicted rapist right to his face. Tyson, who was trying to promote his one-man show, immediately got angry. He told the reporter that was completely inappropriate and stormed off.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that
come
comment.
On.
No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing live TV.
Man, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it? All right. All nerve-wracking for me to hear is talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, like.
No, because you're a piece of shit. All right, really not. We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in. Fuck you.
As the interviewer sat there realizing he had crossed a major line. In another moment, Justin Bieber also chose to walk away from an interview in 2015 at a Spanish radio station. When the hosts asked him to help break the internet with the YouTube video, Bieber became frustrated, feeling that he was being used more than interviewed. In a bold move, he simply stood up, put on his headphones, and walked out of the studio. His exit left the host stunned and the interview unfinished.
Vamos a presentárselos. Okay.
Hundreds of millions,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Come with us. Come with us.
And they are YouTubers.
Vamos aquí. Come with us.
Here.
Yeah, Justin, here.
Let's shift gears and talk about Matthew McConaughey. During a 2023 appearance on The View, co-host Joy Behar pushed McConaughey on his political views, even criticizing his friendship with Novak Djokovic.
Isn't he an anti-vaxxer? I believe an anti-vaxxer?
so, yeah. Just saying.
Way to bring. While McConaughey stayed calm, he wasn't interested in diving into the political debate. He made it clear that he wasn't willing to engage with her attempts to get him to speak on issues that weren't his focus. He said, "I'm not playing that game," effectively shutting down Behar's line of questioning.
Do you think you would get elected in Texas being anti-gun? Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is me playing a game that I'm not interested in playing. To give you a direct statement right there.
Ben Affleck also stood his ground during an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher in 2014. When Sam Harris made sweeping negative statements about Islam, Affleck immediately confronted him, calling his views gross and racist. This quickly escalated into a heated argument, with Affleck passionately defending his position against stereotypes and bigotry.
Or how about the more than a billion people who aren't fanatical, who don't punch women, who just want to go to the store,
wait a second.
sandwiches,
Wait a
break
second.
5 times a day,
Wait
and
a
don't do
second.
any of the things that you're saying all Muslims do.
Wait a second.
Stereotyping.
Wait a second.
Things, and you painting the whole religion with that same brush.
Quentin Tarantino also had enough with Krishnan Gurumurthy. When Krishnan Gurumurthy repeatedly asked him about the link between movie violence and real-world violence, Tarantino exploded. He refused to answer, saying, "I'm not your slave. I'm shutting your butt down."
Why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune.
I can't
I'm not a monkey.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
He accused the journalist of trying to bait him into a soundbite for ratings and refused to engage further on the topic. Let's talk about Tom Hardy, who had a sharp response during a press conference at the 2015 Toronto International Film Festival. A reporter asked Hardy about his own sexuality, referencing his character's bisexuality in Legend. Hardy didn't hesitate, responding, "What on earth are you on about?" He shut down the question immediately, making it clear that he wasn't going to entertain such an inappropriate inquiry.
In the film, your character Ronnie is very open about his sexuality, but given interviews you've done in the past, your own sexuality seems a bit more ambiguous. Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about? Are you asking me about my sexuality? Thank you.
Okay.
Will Smith had a much more physical response at the Men in Black 3 premiere in 2012. A Ukrainian prankster tried to kiss Smith on the lips during the red carpet event. Smith, clearly caught off guard, shoved the prankster away and lightly slapped him on the cheek, saying, "What the hell is your problem, buddy?" His physical reaction sent a clear message that there were boundaries that shouldn't be crossed.
Oh my God! There you go. Come on, man. What the hell is your problem, buddy? All right.
Scarlett Johansson had her own awkward moment during a 2012 interview with Jeremy Renner. While promoting the Avengers, the reporter asked if she wore underwear under her skin-tight Black Widow costume. Johansson quickly shot back. "Since when did people start asking about underwear in interviews?" She added, I'll leave it up to your imagination, making it clear she wasn't having it. She didn't hesitate to call out the absurdity of the question with a sharp, "What kind of interview is this?"
Now, were you able to wear undergarments? If
You're
you will?
like the fifth person that's asked me
no,
that today.
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear? What kind of interview is this?
Switching to another red carpet moment, Michael B. Jordan had an interesting encounter in 2023 when a reporter admitted they used to bully him in school. The reporter nervously said, "We go way back." But Jordan immediately called her out, saying, "Oh yeah, I was the corny kid, right?" His response was sharp but charming, confronting the past bullying in a way that turned the tables in the most viral way possible.
We know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. Yeah, he is obviously killing things out here.
Lindsay Lohan, during her appearance on The Late Show in 2013, had to deal with relentless questioning from David Letterman about her rehab stays. Despite being visibly uncomfortable, she tried to refocus the interview on her work. Finally, in a trembling voice, she told Letterman, "It's not a joking matter. Calling out is inappropriate questioning."
Now, aren't you supposed to be in rehab now? How many times have you been in rehab?
Several. We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview.
No.
Samuel L. Jackson had an unforgettable moment in 2014 when an anchor on KTLA confused him with Lawrence Fishburne. Jackson immediately corrected him, stating, "We don't all look alike. We may be all black and famous, but we don't all look alike." His firm response made it clear that he wasn't going to tolerate such a mistake.
I tell you what, you working for Marvel, the Super Bowl commercial, did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
My mistake.
You're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne. We don't all look alike.
Father, you're exactly
we may be all black and famous,
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
In 2005, Tom Cruise appeared on NBC's Today show to promote his movie War of the Worlds. His discussion with Matt Lauer quickly transformed what should have been a standard promotional appearance into a confrontation. From the start, Cruise challenged psychiatry and prescription medications.
I've never agreed with psychiatry, ever.
He sharply criticized actress Brooke Shields for her antidepressant use.
Antidepressants work for Brooke Shields. Why isn't that okay?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life.
And questioned the concept of chemical imbalances in the brain.
There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
When Lauer counted, mentioning people who found such treatments helpful, Cruise leaned in and sharply interjected, challenging Lauer's understanding with statements like, "You're glib,"
Matt, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is.
And insisting Lauer lacked the background on medications like Ritalin and Adderall.
Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
Cruise's posture, tone, and intensity shifted the interview into a dominant monologue. Lauer tried to engage, but Cruise repeatedly took over the discussion, dismissing opposing viewpoints.
I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to
After
people.
the broadcast, reactions ranged from shock to concern. Lauer later referred to the interview as one of the most uncomfortable of his career, and Cruise's stance renewed public conversation about mental health, personal belief, and celebrity influence. Roughly a decade later, Cruise addressed the incident indirectly at a Friars Club roast and during other interviews, acknowledging that some viewers saw his behavior as arrogant and that he might have delivered his message too forcefully. Despite the on-camera tension, Cruise and Lauer reportedly met privately and acknowledged that no lasting animosity remained between them.
Believe it or not, Matt and I are friends. And I know some of you might find that surprising, considering that, we had that little thing.
You know your own name, but what if changing it was the one thing standing between you and becoming a global superstar? For the celebrities on this list, their birth names just wouldn't cut it. They needed something with more power, more mystery, or simply something that would get them noticed. And the names they chose changed their lives forever. Before he was selling out stadiums with his incredible voice, Bruno Mars was a young kid from Hawaii named Peter Gene Hernandez. He changed his name because he didn't want music labels to try and force him into making Latin music. He picked Bruno because of the wrestler Bruno Sammartino and Mars because it sounded larger than life. You might know him as the star of the Fast and Furious movies, but Vin Diesel's real name is Mark Sinclair. He got the name Vin while working as a bouncer in New York City. His friends started calling him Diesel because he was always so full of energy. Some name changes are simply practical. Emma Stone was born Emily Jean Stone, but when she registered for the Screen Actors Guild, there was already an Emily Stone. She chose Emma because it was close to her real name and was a nickname her mom used. Another star had to change her name to avoid confusion with a famous actress. Before she was a global pop icon, Katy Perry was a gospel singer named Katherine Hudson. She changed her last name to Perry, her mother's maiden name, so she wouldn't be mixed up with the movie star Kate Hudson. One of Hollywood's biggest action heroes was born with a very different name. Before he was the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger was just that, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just kidding, that's his real name, and he famously refused to change it even when agents said it was too long and hard to pronounce. A different kind of artist had to escape the shadow of his legendary family. Nicolas Cage was born Nicholas Kim Coppola. His uncle is the famous director Francis Ford Coppola, and he changed his last name to Cage so he could make a career on his own merit without anyone accusing him of getting special treatment. For some, a new name is about creating a whole new persona. The mysterious and moody singer Lana Del Rey started her career as Lizzie Grant. When that didn't take off, she completely rebranded herself with a new name and a vintage cinematic style that made her a star. One of the most powerful women in television got her name from a funny childhood habit. Whoopi Goldberg was born Karen Elaine Johnson. She says her friends started calling her Whoopi because she sounded like a whoopee cushion, and her mom suggested she take a more traditional Jewish last name, Goldberg, to be taken more seriously in Hollywood. Sometimes the perfect stage name is just waiting for you at work. Before he was Jamie Foxx, the comedian and actor was Eric Marlon Bishop. When he started doing stand-up, he noticed that female comedians often got called to the stage first. He chose the gender-neutral name Jamie to get more stage time, and Fox as a tribute to the legendary comedian Red Fox. Comment below with the most shocking name change so far. You might be surprised to learn that one of music's biggest legends was given his name by a future superstar. John Legend's real name is John Roger Stevens. A friend started calling him Legend because his voice sounded like one of the old-school soul singers. That friend was a young producer who would later become Kanye West. Sometimes you just want to go by your middle name, the star of Degrassi. The next generation was known to everyone as Aubrey Graham, but when he launched his massive rap career, he decided to go by his middle name, Drake. Another name change was made to create a specific vibe. DJ Calvin Harris has a name that sounds cool and electronic, but his real name is Adam Richard Wiles. He said he changed it to sound more racially ambiguous for his first soul-inspired music track. This pop star was born with a name that reflected her parents' hopes. Miley Cyrus was originally named Destiny Hope Cyrus because her parents believed she would do great things. They called her Smiley as a nickname, which eventually got shortened to Miley. She legally changed it in 2008. One of the most famous models in the world uses her childhood nickname. Gigi Hadid's first name is actually Jelena. When she was in grade school, there was another girl named Helena, and the teacher kept getting them confused. Her mom started calling her Gigi at home, and the name stuck. Sometimes a name just sounds too plain for Hollywood. Olivia Wilde was born Olivia Cockburn. She changed her last name in high school as a tribute to the famous writer Oscar Wilde. The Duchess of Sussex is known to the world as Meghan Markle, but her first name is actually Rachel. Her full birth name is Rachel Meghan Markle. Interestingly, her breakout role was playing a character named Rachel on the TV show Suits. Before becoming a rock and roll icon, Sir Elton John was a quiet young man named Reginald Kenneth Dwight. He created his stage name by combining the names of two members of his early band, saxophonist Elton Dean and singer Long John Baldry. You know her as the one and only Lady Gaga, but her friends and family know her as Stefani Germanotta. She got her stage name from the Queen song Radio Gaga. Her producer started calling her Gaga, and the name fit her wild new style perfectly. This rapper's name came directly from her favorite brand of rum. Cardi B was born Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar. Her sister's name is Hennessy, so people started calling her Bacardi. She shortened that to Cardi B, and a star was born. Sometimes a name is just too long for a movie poster. Thomas Cruise Mapother Ford decided to shorten his name to the much punchier Tom Cruise when he began his acting career, creating one of the most recognizable names in Hollywood. This actor comes from a family that literally rose from the ashes with a new name. Joaquin Phoenix was born Joaquin Raphael Bottom. After leaving a religious cult, his parents changed the family's last name to Phoenix to symbolize a new beginning. You may know him as a legendary actor and the father of Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. Martin Sheen was born Ramon Antonio Gerardo Estevez. He adopted an English name to get more acting roles in an era that was less accepting of Hispanic names. Sometimes a stage name is chosen in a moment of pure panic. Sir Michael Caine was born Morris Micklewhite. While on the phone with his agent, he was told he needed a new name immediately. He looked out of the phone booth and saw a poster for the movie The Caine Mutiny, and the rest is history. This country superstar's name is a tribute to her heritage. Shania Twain was born Eileen Regina Edwards. She adopted the name Shania, which is said to mean I'm on my way in the Ojibwe language, honoring her stepfather's background. Before she was a member of the Brat Pack, Demi Moore's name was Demetria Jean Gynes. She took the last name Moore from her first husband, musician Freddie Moore, and kept it throughout her career even after they divorced. This actress chose her name from a classic work of literature. Portia de Rossi was born Amanda Lee Rogers. At the age of 15, she legally changed her name, taking Portia from a character in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice and de Rossi because it sounded exotic. Finally, one of the biggest pop stars on the planet goes by a name he made up on a whim. The Weeknd's real name is Abel Tesfaye. He said he hated his birth name and came up with The Weeknd after leaving home one weekend and never coming back. He dropped the last E because there was already a Canadian band called The Weeknd. It's amazing how a simple change can create a legend. These stars prove that sometimes the name you're given isn't as important as the name you make for yourself. Thanks for watching. If you were surprised by any of these name changes, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos.